Hello friends, it's Michelle. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to a fun craft along video where we take a Halloween treat box and turn it into a junk journal, all Frankenstein style. Cutting this, trimming that, and creating something that is absolutely beautiful. Get your fun Halloween papers together and let's get started. So here are the things that I just really quickly threw together that I thought might make for a little fun little Halloween booklet. So here's the original box, the treat box. Came like this. I don't know who, I got this from a friend, so I can't even tell you who made it. Let's see if it says, oh, Oriental Trading. If you know Oriental Trading, it is a cheap mail order catalog that you can get all sorts of party things on. So this came from Oriental Trading if you want to look that up, but I'm sure you can find treat boxes like these in all sorts of places like craft stores, etc. So this is what the box looks like. Pretty darn cute. And then this is what I did with it. I cut it like this. And then I cut just these tabs off and angled these tabs. I just did it quickly just to get it unfolded. We will probably work more with that. So my thought was, wouldn't it be cute if this was a booklet? So this was the cover, and then inside, maybe we'll put this shut so it's like a pocket, and then the little booklet goes right in here. I have no idea if this is going to work. I'm just thinking it might be fun. So what we would need to do is measure this as far as like the page. What size page would we need for this book? So I'm going to do like super lazy way and just measure actually against it. And then I'm going to make a cut and then come back. Okay. And then I would say it needs to be smaller than the side for it to be a book and for it to close. So let me just fold it where I think it should get folded. Trim that. Okay, so let's see if this was the booklet right here. Could it close? I'd be pushing it, so I'm going to make it a slight bit shorter. Okay, I think that's the right size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a bunch of papers that are this right size. I'm going to cut them like this, and I'll be right back. Okay, here's my little stack of papers. Probably more than I need, but let's see what we got. I'm going to take this off. It's going to move all around. Okay, so let's fold these and see what we got here. Okay, so let's see how many pages we could fit in here if this is closed. I wouldn't want this to be the cover, it's the wrong orange. Let's do the black, and let's just alternate pages by color. I may have to trim these just a hair. Let's see how many pages that is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 papers, which means that there would be 24 pages because it's each side plus 2. And let's see if that would be too thick. Well, that looks kind of cute. I actually might be able to get, I don't think so. I don't think I would trust it. All right, let me just go trim a couple of these. The papers are rather thick, and I think that's why they're a little bit sticking out. I don't think I have room for 2 signatures unless I put, let's see, 1 signature here and 1 signature here. Well, that's an interesting thought. Let's see. If this was like an envelope in the middle, would that work? It might work. See, this is what happens when you have no plan. I put 2 here, 2 little notepads here. And then I could put like a little calendar, maybe, I don't know, something right here in the middle. That might be really cute. All right, I'm going to trim these down just a hair because they're going to need a little bit more room. Okay, so I have my 2 little booklets trimmed down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 sheets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's 5 sheets. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, that means that if there are 5 sheets each, that means if you're counting sides, although I never count the cover, but let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 places to jot notes. So that means if this is 16 and it's 16, that's 32 little pages, which is really cute. Okay, so what are we going to do with this? I mean, it's kind of already done, right? At least the front part is. This is a little wobbly. Maybe I'd want to put something behind that that would give it a little bit of structure. I wonder if I used an old laminated. So here's some lamination that was extra. If I put that in the back there, I'd still have the see-through, but it would offer some integrity, which might be good. So I might want to glue that on. I think if I use I might want to grime it up first. Let me grab my glass, which is what I always work on. Sorry if that's going to give a glare. That's the only problem. And let's see if we can get some grunginess going. I'm going to use the soot. I'm never that good with the actual brush. I find I'm too uneven with it. Suppose the ghost shouldn't have been black, but it's fine. Okay, so now if I take this laminated piece, I'm just going to put down some paper so it's easier to see. All right, I'm going to take my art glitter glue and hope that it does not, because it's water soluble ink, it does not get all messy, but who knows, maybe it'll make a neat effect. Again, flying by the seat of my broom. Let's see what happens, shall we? All right, that will have to sit. Ooh, it is, I think, smearing the ink a little, but I think it's going to end up looking pretty cool. Now, I'm going to have to cover this, right? Because that's the first, that's the back cover. And I think I might want to put a little notch here to make this a pocket. So let's get my notcher out. See if this can handle it. It's awfully thick. I don't think it's going to be able to hold it. Oh, I guess I need to distress in here, because we'll see that a little bit. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put some, because this is pretty hard cardstock, I'm going to put some 3-in-1 because I need it to really hold. And then it's going to be a pocket, so we have to just glue it here and here, or else we won't be able to use the pocket. And I'm going to hold that down. Now, I just thought of something before this holds. I'm going to let, if I want to put any sewing, I need to do that before I fold this because it's going to be too thick. So you know what? I'm just going to let that dry. I'll reapply it after and let that actually dry, and then I'll sew it after. So let's think about this one. This will be the center piece here, and then this is the other flap, which I'm going to have a pocket here. I think that'll be cute. Nope, again, that one's not strong enough. And again, if I want to sew, which I do, it's going to be too thick. So the only thing I will do is I will trim this off because I don't need all of that there. More bulk. And now I got to decide what I'm going to do here. First, I can already tell I need to trim this because it's catching. If you trim it at an angle, it's going to fold in a lot better. This is the back. Now, what I could do, this is already kind of trimmed. If I would have thought about trimming this differently last time, let me see. Well, I don't want to add too much bulk because it's already going to have a hard time closing. So I was going to say I was going to put in another like a flap here with something underneath, but I'm afraid it's going to be too much bulk. So I think all I'll do is glue this down, and then I will cover this with something I've decorated. But at least I'll get this out of the way for now. Let's see if this is dried enough for me to trim. It has. So I am going to trim this plastic off now. I need to take it away for a second so that I can get up close. I have really bad eyesight, and if I'm going to work up close, I need to work with actually no glasses or contacts on, because I am so myopic. I can see very close with if I have nothing in my eyes, but I cannot see close at all if I have any correction. Okay, so it just gives it a little bit more strength in the back. It's a little shiny, but it's okay. And I'm going to add some sewing to this. Oh, remember how I was going to sew it before I glued it? I guess it's still not completely glued yet. All right, so let me have this dry. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some stitching on the front cover in here. Oh, you know what? We should also do a little bit of maybe collage here. Put something cute here. So I have an idea. Now maybe you don't have a lot of Halloween ephemera around. Junk mail comes, magazines, sales flyers, etc. On October 1st, my town has this like coupon book. It's printed on sort of like newsprint. And I went into the advertising and cut out little tiny fussy cuts from ads, right? They can make great little ephemera pieces for things like this, right? If you're just looking for a little decoration. How cute is that? But what I was thinking of was just taking an offcut from another project. Something very simple, just a little black strip, and then maybe putting a couple of these little dog ghosts there. I think they're really cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue on this onto the paper, because I already think what I'm going to do is put some stitching in there. You know, some decorative stitching. So I will put that on there. Put where I want it. I'm not thinking too hard about this project. I'm folding it over because I like the way how clean it looks when you fold something over rather than when you cut it. I know it won't be like that on this side, but it's okay. Here I am making a mess. All right, let me dry and get some stitching in. Okay, I'm back. I've done some like messy sewing. I put some messy stitches in here. I put some stitches here that are very imperfect, but I wanted them to capture some of the elements that are kind of like on top of the cardboard so that they don't catch. I've done some zigzag stitching on the roof, and I've left the strings. It looks kind of messy in here, but it won't matter because we're going to be folding it like this. And then I've done some stitching here around the pocket, around the thumb hole, and just a zigzag stitch there. The only thing I think I want to maybe do is just maybe do a zigzag, if I can do it here, just to hold this together. I'm going to put a bead of glue there, or a little one, but I think maybe just to really hold it, it might be a good idea to throw some stitches in there, if my sewing machine can do that. I don't know if that's too thick. It might be a little bit too thick. I'm going to let it dry and then we'll see. And then this can, let me get a clamp to clamp that down. Clamp that shut. Oh, and I can do this little lip here. If I want the strings to stick out, though, I need to make sure they're sticking out when I put it down. I need to hold that here. Okay, and then on this side, I can put a bead of glue here. This should already be down. And and then a bead of glue here. And then I need a clamp. I gotta figure out what's gonna go on the back there. I think I want some black paper. Let me see what I have in my stash. Okay, so I have this piece here that can be fit in right like that. Right inside there. That looks like it's a little bit not straight. There we go. So let's glue that in. Do I want to put any sewing in that first? That's the question. Maybe I do. Maybe I do want to make a little pocket here. So let me see what I can do. This would be kind of cute as a little tuck spot. I could actually have this at the bottom and then that at the top, and then maybe a grommet with some string so people could just put something in there. I kind of like that idea. So what I would need to do is fold this in half so I have it equal. I will cut that. And then I could just put like a grommet here, a grommet there, and some string. How cute would that be? All right, let me get my little... I just did a post about this yesterday. I can't tell you how much I love this set. All right, I'm gonna put in, let me see what I have for grommets. So I have these little orange, all right, I call them grommets, but I know they're eyelets. Let's see if we put 2 of these in. Hold on. I gotta get the smallest one. So these Fiskars are just amazing. I like it so much better than the crocodile. This is the small one. So what I want to do is find the center. Well, it's going to have to line up with that bat. So let me see if I can make a mark with a pencil. Because this is thin cardboard and this works so good, I'm going to try to do both holes at once. So I'm going to line them up, put it down, and then this is the little tiny hole, and I just put it over the hole. Maybe I want it down just slightly, and then I pull up and I snap it. Oh, look, I moved it. It's not usually an issue, but because I'm trying to do 2 pieces of paper at once, which is probably not the smartest. And there are the holes. Okay, so now the setting is super easy. You just put the eyelet in, unless I pick the wrong hole, the size hole, which we'll find out in a minute. I did not. That's correct. And I don't even have to think about it like the crocodile. I always have to think about which one is at the right. So now it's just the opposite side. That little point goes in the hole. You pull up. And then pull up hard. I did not pull up high enough for some reason. Put it right in the center. The eyelets are set. Okay, so now if I take this piece of paper, and what I can do, I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to place it and glue it, and then I'm going to stitch at the bottom and the top. Oh, wait. I have to score these if I want them to open. So let me see. If I do want a little bit of space between them. So what if I line it up on that line, and then I line it up on this line? Then I would just need to score it like right before those lines. So let me mark that so I remember. I'm going to use this one. I'm going to use this one. Let me go score that. Okay, so that's scored and folded. So I think what I will do, so I don't lose any space down here, is I will glue from the back. One of the things I like about not having a plan and doing these projects as you go is problem solving. I kind of dig the problem solving aspect of it. By gluing it on the back, you won't lose any real estate on the folding side, if you know what I mean. We want to line these up, make sure they're kind of in the center, which I just eyeballed it, so it might not be. Then I'm going to go sew a little zigzag on top and bottom, or just a straight stitch, just to keep it in more, give it a little bit of a finish. But again, I don't want to lose the flip, so I will be careful not to sew it too tight. Okay, so I actually put a zigzag on the bottom and a zigzag on the top. That way they're sewing on the front, but it doesn't keep the flap from going. A little bit messy here. I can trim what I don't want off later. So what I'm going to do now is glue this onto the center panel. I suppose I could have put out one of those tie things, but this will be fine as I'm looking at it. I'm also looking at it that it's just slightly off. I must have glued it slightly off. So if you're doing this and you're a lot more of a detail person than I am, then obviously you would want that to line up. I'm just shooting from the hip. Again, a lot of times when I'm making ideas, I'm just trying to work it out, and then if I ever reproduce it for, you know, like a sale or something like that, then I would obviously be a lot more careful with that. So I'm going to pull that in, and I'm going to put this in here. So awkward sometimes doing things on camera. And then I can just tie a little knot like that. And maybe trim it. And since it's not journaling inside, it would be more to hold things. I think it's fine if it's just a knot. But again, you could do the little things that like the envelope, you know, like a document envelope type of a closure, if that's what you wanted. Okay, so I'm going to trim these guys. Not too short because we want it to be able to tie after. How cute does that look? I think that looks really cute. It folds okay. I'm just going to make sure I fold it a few times because the sewing makes it a little stiff at first. This one folds pretty good. I think it's catching right here, so I might need to trim that. Or, you know what, maybe I'm better off putting a little bit of washi tape right there just to sort of seal those edges. Let's see, I think I have this. I have this, and I have this. I think this is actually Tim Holtz Halloween, this one, so I'm going to use that one. And this one has a really good stick on it too. So that looks pretty good. I like that little floral bit. And let's put it over here. I'm going to put a little bit of glue here because there's a little bit more white showing. And there's quite a few strings there. Oops, I bent the corner there. All right, so let's see what we got so far. Really like this. I like the strings. I like the stitching. I like that this is plastic, you know, see-through. We have the little house, and then this flips out, and then we would have our booklet going here and our booklet going here, right? Just like that. My gosh, I'm really liking that a lot. So the next step would be to pamphlet stitch these guys into the actual book. So what I would need to do is, first off, I'm going to clip this so that I know that it's clipped well. Then I'm going to put it right where it goes in here, and I'm going to clamp that down. And I'm going to clamp it down here too. Okay, so I think we've all seen a million pamphlet stitch videos, so I don't feel like I need to show you every moment of what I'm going to do. But right now I'm choosing some baker's twine. I think that colored baker's twine is really fun to use in these kinds of whimsical journals. I find that you can get baker's twine fairly inexpensively at the dollar store. Believe it or not, they sell packages now of 2 or 3 to a package with different color schemes. And this one had, I believe, yellow, orange, and brown for the fall. You can't beat that, 33 cents a roll. And I'm just doing a basic pamphlet stitch, as you can see right now, and I'll finish up this side, and then I'm going to head out into the next side. I got a few little strings that got pulled in, which I actually kept in because black and orange look good together. Now I'm on the second side, which, as you can see, I'm just finishing up now. If you need a video for a pamphlet stitch, I would just go on your YouTube and type in pamphlet stitch video. There are a gazillion out there. Okay, so that's tied in there. So let's see how this looks so far. So here's our little journal, which I gotta say I kind of love. And from the back, it's got sewing, and this sticks up, which is really cute. And then you open it up, and there is a journal here. You open it up, and there is a journal there, and there is a pocket, and there's that. Okay, so now's the fun part, right? Look at all these strings. I have to decide if I'm going to keep them. And this is where we, you know, sort of start having fun with maybe what is the closure going to be. And I still have to do this little tiny, you know, the little collage that I wanted to do there. And maybe I want to put a little bit of embellishing in it, and I definitely want to put some kind of tag there. So this is part one. This was quick. This was easy. This was really fun, and I love the way it's coming out. And the most fun part is left, right? Which is the decorating. So come to part 2 and we will finish this up. So look for part 2, where we'll then take all sorts of fun little Halloween doodads and make this into a really adorable junk journal. I'll see you in the next video.